say we've got one more after this. We've got.
Yep, Maryland versus Wisconsin on track 1 here, right after this bout.
All right. Sounds good.
And in half an hour, we're going to have Indiana versus Ohio on track 2, a.k.a. the deep track.
Who we got for Traverse City out in that crowd? Let's get some noise for Traverse City. And how about that home squad? Who's here from Lansing? We don't do applause meters here. I think that's some good support for everybody.
And those of you watching at home, my co-announcer here just asked, who's here for Lansing? Big cheer. So those of you watching, those of you Lansing fans watching, his is about to see. We've got Lansing A going up against Traverse City, ranked 2 and 5 respectively. Toxic Shock putting a hit there on number 24, Jackie Bauer. Jackie Bauer going to be your lead jammer. Traverse City, of course, in white. Lansing wearing black. Nice hit there from team captain Yar.
We've got Barbie Flay on the inside, feverishly trying to get through. Got them in the pink helmet with the star in hand. Finds a little bit of a hole around the outside. She's able to get out into the clean air.
And star pass denied there of Lansing. And the first points of this bout are on the board. 4 going on the board for Traverse City. Lansing held scoreless.
Traverse City with 4, Lansing A at 0, 29:01 left to play.
So here it goes again. Hopefully we get another nice tight one here between Lansing and Traverse City.
So far, clean game, 5-on-5 pack. Lansing's jammer pogoing a little bit from side to side there to back the pack.
Toxic Cherries gets jammed into the middle, but it's just a black hole. Lansing completely encapsulating them. Meanwhile, the number 12.
Fox and Mad will be lead jammer.
Toxic Cherry still getting some difficulty trying to get some penetration into the back of the pack.
Fox and Mad on that scoring pass here. Almost held back by number 7, Lucky Strike. Oh! And Traverse City's going to force Fox and Mad to the back of that pack. Edgy Kate, meanwhile, going for the star pass. You can see the refs touching their helmets. That's what that means. Nice bridging there by Lucky Strike, number 7 of Traverse City.
So Educate has taken the star off and has handed it over to Bellatrix Lestrangle. And she is able to work her way on the outside, but is going to pick up a track cut. So it's a power jam opportunity now for Lansing.
And this is Lansing's chance to overtake Traverse City on the scoreboard. And we are tied, ladies and gentlemen and envies. 4 points on the board there. Fox and Mad of Lansing.
If you thought this jam was going a little long, we have 40 seconds left in this jam.
The time's flying, Bars. Fox and Mad having to line up back behind number 100, Educate of Traverse City. Fox and Mad calls it, and looks like Fox and Mad picked up 2 more points there in that jam. That's going to put Lansing in the lead with 6. Traverse City still at 4.
That was a good call off right there as Bellatrix Lestrangle is locked up in the penalty box. She is standing, so it's less than 10-second power start for Lansing. No other penalty issues. A 4-on-4 pack in front of
And
the Lansing jammer.
And Lansing's put Sarah Sasson on the jam line. Sarah Sasson, of course, making great strides this season for Lansing's A-team, former speed skater. And if you've watched Lansing play, you've seen how Sarah can just mow through a pack like it's nothing, and she's done that just now, lead jammer.
So the Toxic Cherries jammer is mixing things up, but Yarmageddon face-to-face with her is going to lock her up in the back. Little bit of a pile-up here going out of turn 1.
And, of course, Yarmageddon, member of Team Michigan. And she has Bellatrix Lestrangle in her sights. Meanwhile, Sarah Sasson's picked up 4 points there. And she still has time to tie her skate lace.
Just take my time, tighten this up a little bit. Come on back in. There she is.
Oh, bam. Did you see who took that fall?
That was number 13.
Of Traverse City. That was number Lizzie Lush's team captain.
A little bit of a spill there going into turn 3. stopped pack as Lansing Jam are being brought back onto the main back straight. Another hit there for Lizzie Luscious. Luscious will take her down to the inside again.
Oh, nice teamwork there by Toxic Shock and the Mind Killer of Lansing. Toxic Shock throwing her body right into Bellatrix Lestrangle. And Lestrangle comes out. That was her initial pass. Very hard fought there.
Yeah, the pack was stretched out all the way between turns 3, all the way into the main straight.
And Sarah Sasson put 4 more points on the board for Lansing, bringing Lansing up to 14. Traverse City at 4. 8-point jam there for Lansing.
25 minutes left to play. That was the conclusion of jam number 3. So we're playing some long jams on this one. The first one under a minute, and the next two just really drawn way out. Looking over the penalty box, no real big penalty issues so far, except for that power start in jam in jam 1 and 2.
And Peregrine is out, will be your lead jammer. Yar and number 44, Skulldozer, doing a nice job teaming up there on Siren Song of Traverse City. Siren going for the inside, one for the outside, stopped by the Mind Killer. The jam is called off.
We've got a skater on all fours going into turn 1. Paramedics are on site,
That's
already on point.
Lucky strike of Traverse City. Hope nothing's too serious here.
Gingerly upright on skates.
Well, we do have some charity raffles that will be coming up. The raffles will be benefiting.
Vertical and on their way back to the bench. Applause from our own bench.
And of course, the refs taking advantage of this time out to stall the clock for a few minutes, just because they can. Talking about what their drink order is going to be later at the Lansing Shuffle.
Program, there you go.
I'm intrigued to see it. It was interesting on the Skybridge on the way in. There was parking for the waterfront and the Lansing Shuffle.
Really?
It was specifically called out as those 2 spaces that you could actually go and
Okay.
detour from the Skybridge. And I was like, what is the Lansing Shuffle? Come to find, it is actually our after-party venue for not just tonight and not just tomorrow, but the next night as well. All 3 nights here at the Motor City.
Sunday too,
Kittens.
wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Although not too many people usually stick around for that one.
I know, some of us have to be back at work Monday morning.
Oh, I'll be there. I just don't know how much is going to get done.
So we got the Mind Killer and Yar of Lansing. Toxic Shock going to come in to assist on the blocker line. We've got Herderino jamming for Lansing. And Lansing doing a great job there containing the Traverse City jammer. We'll tell you who that is in a second.
It's going to be Bellatrix Lestrangle.
Oh. Number
No, I'm sorry.
248.
248, not 428.
Yeah.
That's Goodnight Doom.
Goodnight Doom.
Big hit there by Yar. Will shove her down into turn 2.
And Yar doing one of her many talents here, recycling, going to force Goodnight Doom all the way to the back of that pack. But Herderino getting held to the back herself there by number 6, by 515 Shulk of Traverse City.
Midnight Doom spinning around on the outside of turn 1, diving back in on turn 2. She's going to be able to make her way through on the far side.
And lead jam Traverse City. Herderino, meanwhile, going for that star pass. Number 5, Skulk, doing some dynamite containment here on the turn. Herderino breaks out, goes for the outside, takes a tumble. Meanwhile, Goodnight Doom comes around for 4. Traverse City on their way to evening up that score here, this jam.
Big shuffling going on in the pack itself.
Gail Skaten getting called out for a penalty. 3 little blocker pinball there. Toxic shot coming out of that penalty box. 4 more points going on the board for Goodnight Doom. Herderino still on that initial pass. Toxic Shock holding out her hand for the star. That's going to be 4 more points. Goodnight Doom calls it. And Traverse City catapults in the lead there at 16 points. Lansing still at 14.
Just about 22 minutes left to play in this first half. So we're going to see Edgy Kate out there for the Toxic Cherries on the jammer line. Penalty box is down by 1 for Lansing.
3-on-4 pack. Can of whoop-ass, number 5, holding down that blocker line. Barbie Flay is out. She will be your lead jammer.
Got a little squirrely on that turn, too. Spun it out, but is able to get it back together.
Edgy Kate headed to the penalty box. Power jam for Lansing. Barbie Flay coming up against that 2-wall there from Traverse City. Number 428, Bellatrix Lestrangle, putting a nice hit there on Barbie.
Barbie's able to find a hole through on the inside. She's going to make her way through, picking up 4 in the process. Edgy Kate, and then 1 more blocker for Toxic Cherries are going to be sitting this one out.
And Bellatrix has Barbie in her sights, but Barbie skates right on by on the outside.
Nice goat action right here as Bellatrix Lestrangle is held back by a 4-wall. Pack gets too stretched out. They got to let Barbie Flay through. Meanwhile, Edgy Kate is out of the box and through. This is the initial pass for them.
Barbie, meanwhile, on her 3rd scoring pass of this jam. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Barbie calls it.
Score as it stands, that was a big 12-point run right there. Another lead change for Lansing's favor, 26-16 over the Toxic Cherries. 20:15 left to play.
10-point game. Anything could happen. And Sarah Sasson back on the jam line, cutting through on the inside. She will be your lead jammer. 24, Jackie Bauer trailing by half a lap.
Pack is off to the races, but also spread out. Easily 3rd of the track.
You know, Sarah Sasson putting on those afterburners, gets past Traverse City's blockers and calls it. It's 4 more points for Lansing. Lansing now at 30, Traverse City at 16.
This is jam number 7, 19:19 left to play.
Can of whoop-ass, number 5, Lansing gathering her teammates up at the front of the pack.
It's like she was holding a piece of food up against the glass and watching the fish go back and forth as she went
Look
side
at
to
that.
side.
Fox and Mad making it look easy. Number 12, she will be your lead jammer. Siren Song trailing by less than half a lap. Fox and Mad coming up against the back of that pack and calls it. 3 points on the board for Lansing. And goose egg there for Traverse City.
Traverse City holding the point down to start, but Lansing has definitely swung that pendulum back in their favor. 33-16, 18:30 left to play in this first half.
Quick jams here. We're well below the average. Within about 40 seconds each jam so far.
In the last couple jams, the jammers have been able to
And that's Peregrine, number 4 on the jam line there for Lansing.
Yeah, trying to get their way through Schulk, was not able to do so. Came through on the inside. Will pick up lead jammer for Lansing.
And longtime Lansing fans will recognize Peregrine as the former Slam Cakes. Peregrine going by a new name this season. Big hit there on Tenacious D from Peregrine. Scoring 4 for Lansing.
Goodnight Doom shoveled to the outside there, but, ooh, a little bit of a flip right
That was
there.
a great somersault there by Toxic Shock.
Able to get skates back under themselves and back upright.
Traverse City keeping that pack moving backwards. Peregrine in the middle calls it off.
Toxic Cherries again held to 0 as Lansing was able to put up 4. 37-16, 17-17 left to play.
And that's Barbie Flay, number 0, back on the jam line for Lansing.
Penalty box is empty, all clear, 5-on-5 on the track when this whistle blows.
You can kind of see Can of Whoop-Ass holding the Traverse City Jammer with her eyes there at the front of the pack. Barbie takes a tumble there in the middle, taking a hit there from Lethal Liability of Traverse City.
Edgy Kate from Traverse City in the back, still trying to mix things up just a little bit there with Barbie Flay. Barbie Flay takes a little bit of a tumble right there. I believe it is Bellatrix Lestrangle that was the one that dealt that one.
Benefield going to force Barbie to the back of that pack. Strategy's paying off. Number 100, Edgy Kate. She will be your lead jammer. Barbie taking the star off, has it still in her hand, won't be your lead jammer.
I don't know if that one works with the hot pink helmet. You take that off, you become very, very,
very
apparent.
visible, yes. Edgy Kate scores 4 and calls it, bringing Traverse City up to 20. Lansing at 37. 17-point game with just over 15 minutes left to go in this first half.
Feels like a quick one so far. It's a tight game. The last one started out a lot tighter. Games are definitely starting to get a little bit snugger. The first games today, I believe the first one was something like 450 points to 50 points.
Yeah, that was MCDL versus Kalamazoo's Kill Stars, and Kalamazoo took that very easily. Number 24, Jackie Bauer of Traverse City will be your lead jammer. Jackie signals her team to keep right on going. Sarah Sasson right behind. Jackie saw Sarah catching up and called it. Double goose egg on that jam.
That will put us at halfway through the first half. 15 minutes left to play. We're going to see the number 4 from Lansing. That, of course, is going to be Peregrine.
Is it Peregrine? I keep saying Peregrine. I'm not.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a direct reference to the actual bird.
That's the only context I've ever heard it used in, so it must be. We'll have to ask her at halftime.
We'll have to get some clarity on that one.
Peregrine gonna be your lead jammer.
Siren Song. Siren Song kick to the inside. We'll have to cycle back, but there's another penalty for Lansing. They're going to be down by 1 blocker. Meanwhile, number 4, Lansing pushing hard.
Peregrine gets past Bellatrix Lestrangle, put 4 more on the board for Lansing.
Half a pack separating these two jammers. Lansing jammer already making points. Comes around back in. Will cook hands on hips. Picks up 3 on that one.
It looks like Peregrine picked up 3 points there for Traverse City. Siren Song, I think that's just about the prettiest derby name I've heard today. You know, you get a lot of great vicious names like Can of Whoop-Ass, Evil Shred, Lucille Brawl, but Skulldozer, yeah, that's awesome. But there's a certain beauty in Siren Song, and I'm not just saying that because I love the Odyssey. Okay. And Yar holding down that blocker line. Look at the way Yar is controlling her teammates there with both hands. Toxic Shock on Gail Skaten. Going to come in for an assist. Great containment there on Bellatrix.
Almost an extension of her hands as she goes back and forth.
I know. That's Goodnight Doom. Goodnight Doom is going to be lead jammer.
Unfortunately, we are going to lose Yar to the penalty box. So Goodnight Doom, lead jammer coming in, passing their skaters. Round the outside to the far side, picks up 4 for the Toxic Cherries.
Fox and Mad coming around on that first scoring pass for Lansing.
able to do so easily, will work up 4 of their own. So a 4-4 move forward for both teams. Make-A-Wish with 12:34 left on the clock.
Goodnight Doom has come up against Toxic Shock. Toxic hits her to the outside. Toxic goes down herself. That means it's not a track cut, but it is a no pass, no play. 3 points there for Doom.
Tell you what, if the option is to lose 1 point or go back through all of that, I would just lose the 1 point.
100%, especially when the score is as close as this. Goodnight Doom calls it and picks up 4 more points there for Traverse City.
So 11-8 jam, Traverse City over Lansing. That takes the score to 52-31. 11:55 left to play. I believe we have the number 100 of Educate back there for the Toxic Cherries.
I believe you're right, and that is Sarah Sasson, number 29 of Lansing. You know, I've watched so many Lansing games, I can tell when it's, I don't know, I can tell when it's Sarah. I always can tell. And I have to be honest, I love the way she kind of bulldozes her way. Such strength and speed.
Yeah,
But
this is impressive to watch. Oh,
so close. Sarah Assassin has to go back behind Traverse City.
I thought that was good. Kept it in, but no, two wheels outside of the rope, so they're going to have to come back around. Meanwhile, Educate having some difficulty getting locked up right there. Big takedown on the 1-1-3.
And Sarah Assassin's going to pick up lead jammer.
Looking over the penalty box, it is now empty. Oh, and as soon as I say something, Lansing is going to be losing 1 to the penalty box.
I heard the whistles being blown. I didn't see who was called out. Sarah's got to get past one more. Toxic Cherry picking up 4 there for Lansing. Yar and Toxic Shock have Educate in their sights. Number 42 of Traverse City, Amazon Avenger, coming to break up that wall. Sarah Assassin coming around again for 4.
Educate, Star back on the helmet, starting to mix things up. And Sarah Assassin comes in through the inside, and like you said before, just able to shrug it off and will just power through and picking up 4.
Yar, meanwhile, trying to do some containment on Educate there. Educate also coming around for 4. Sarah Assassin knocking down 1, 2, 3 Traverse City blockers for 4 points.
16-point jam for Sarah Assassin with just 10 seconds left in this jam.
It looks like Sarah may be looking to run the clock out here, full 2 minutes, and she comes up, boom, against the Traverse City pivot.
I believe 2 additional points are going to go on the board. A 18-point jam I'm looking up here, seeing on.
And Sarah Assassin picked up a back block there on that at the end of that last jam. This is going to be a power jam for Traverse City. And Traverse City is called a team timeout.
So Lansing calling that one.
Oh, Lansing?
Lansing has called
Okay.
that one. So Lansing is 70 over Traverse City 38. 19-19 left on the clock. That was the conclusion of jam number 14 so far. Quick 1/3 of the game already underway.
Over on the other track, Indiana versus Ohio. There's some really good games going on here.
We want to say thank you to Lansing Roller Derby for hosting us yet again at Mitten Kittens X. Lansing, of course, also our host in 2018 and in 2019, the last 2 Mitten Kittens before the COVID shutdown. And it's been 4 long years, long-awaited years for Mitten Kittens to return to Michigan.
Dead excited to be back here and doing it again. We've got 2 more days of this.
Yes, we do. But it's so great to see so much talent here from all over the state and also out-of-state talent as well, especially amongst the refs and officials crew.
Yeah, we've got some. I remember hearing some coming in from Kentucky.
Ohio, Wisconsin. Oh, we're back into action here. And once again, power jam for Traverse City. This could be the chance they need to catch up. While Sarah Saxon's cooling those wheels in the penalty box.
Jackie Bauer trying to find her way through, but it's a wall of 4. Meanwhile, no pack is being called. They have to let her go, but there's some reformation, so gets locked back up again.
Oh yeah, Lansing knows how to keep a pack moving and to keep a jammer contained. Yar doing some nice blocking there.
Tell you what, the power that was pushed down as Shulk tried to get Sarah Sasson pushed into the inside, but strength being played right there. Sarah Sasson is out the far side, lead jammer. So went from a power start to a lead jam for Lansing.
Strega going to force Jackie Bauer to the back of that pack. Jackie Bauer still on that initial pass, trying to take a whip there off her teammate Tenacious D. She's out. Another scoring pass for Sarah as Sarah Sasson calls it. So I believe that was 8-point jam there for Lansing.
I do believe you're correct. We've got just under 8 minutes left to play. No, that was a 4. Initial coming out of the box and then the scoring pass on that one. So Lansing is 74, Traverse City to 38. And that was the conclusion of jam number 15 as we get ready to get underway in under 5 seconds. Penalty box is empty, full 5-on-5 on the track.
This has been a really clean game so far, Bars. I mean, both teams, showing how they, like I said, ranked 4 and 5 currently in Division 1. And number 11, Siren Song, will be your lead jammer.
As is the announcer's curse, there it is. Fox and Mad picking up a penalty for Lansing.
Power jam for Traverse City.
This will be a nice one to see if they can get that pendulum to swing back in their direction before halftime hits in just about 7 minutes left.
Off to a good start, Bars. Siren Song picking up 4.
Oh, I thought that was going to be opened up, but they were able to close it back down. Siren Song still, just using their size to kind of knife their way through. But gets shoveled to the outside and takes double knees.
Mind Killer going to force her to the back of the pack there.
Fox and Mad, not afraid to do side steps, gets tumbled down to the outside. Taken down there by the number 1200 of Benefil.
4 more points on the board there for Siren Song.
8 points so far for Siren Song as they come in for a third scoring pass.
Amazon Avenger looking to break up that 4 wall and also keep Fox and Mad back. Bellatrix Lestrangle going to also assist with that block. Siren Song, 4 more points there for Traverse City.
Amazon Avenger went from closing it off, instantly opening up the door and allowing Siren Song through, and then comes back and slams it shut again. Fox and Mad.
It's awesome when you see that kind of play, Bars. I mean, such track awareness, teamwork.
Yeah. So Fox and Mad finally threw on the initial pass, and that one will be called dead by Fox and Mad, so I believe that is.
And Traverse City making a hell of a dent there on the scoreboard. Traverse City now at 53, Lansing at 74.
5:30 left to play in this first half.
It's a 21-point game.
Just over 5 to go in this first period. As you said, 21 points in Lansing's favor.
Lansing again taking the front of the pack with Can of Whoop-Ass holding down the line. Peregrine taking the inside.
Track cut.
And track cut on Peregrine. Another power jam for Traverse City.
Another power jam for Traverse City to capitalize on. And here we go.
That is number 248 of Traverse City.
That is Good Night Doom. You can tell when you're still looking for the number 248.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just get lost in the numbers. There it is. Good Night Doom pushing through. She's going to pick up 4.
An evil shred of Lansing trying to break up that wall there.
Good Night Doom shoveled down to the outside there. Nice attempt at an apex jump, but Shulk is going to slam that closed in midair.
Number 5-1-5, Shulk going to force Peregrine to the back of that pack. Nice hit there from Tenacious D. Peregrine keeps right on going. That was her initial.
I don't know how they kept upright and inbounds on that one, but they sidestepped around Shulk.
4 points and 2-4.
It's like 12 points in that jam.
Goodnight Doom calls it.
Score right now.
And Traverse City getting closer and closer to taking the lead. Now at 65, Lansing at 74.
3 minutes 45 left in this first half, and I tell you what, it's really starting to swing in Toxic Cherry's favor.
Yes, it is.
Looked like Lansing was going to walk away with it there just a little bit, but
And
it's
then-
starting to tighten up now.
Yeah, just running just a couple of jams worth of jammer penalty trouble can be all it takes to to turn the tables here. Sarah Sasson back on the jam line for Lansing.
Toxic Cherry's out there with Edgy Kate. Edgy Kate is shoveled just ever so slightly to the outside. We'll have to see what the official call on this one is. I believe we've got a track cut being called.
On Edgy Kate, power jam for Lansing.
You know, you talked about it just then. Here it is. More of that trouble, not going to help you get more points on the board. Sarah Sasson is through, ready to add some more on.
Yep, 4 points for Lansing. Number 24, Jackie Bauer holding down that line of white there on the back of that pack. They have nice containment there on Sarah Sasson. Yar, number 22, out of that penalty box, ready to break up that wall. Strega going to assist. Sarah coming around for 4 and calls it. He's going to put Lansing in the power start for the next jam.
I was going to say solid call right there, locking up Edgy Kate in the penalty box. I believe that is number 12, Fox and Mad for Lansing, lined up. Traverse City just with Edgy Kate locked up, so your jammers locked up right there. We've got a 4-on-4 pack, and they're doing their best to make a wall that Fox and Mad is not going to be able to make their way through.
And Lansing going on the offense right away, blocker on blocker. Fox and Mad going to be your lead jammer.
Ooh, Edgy Kate able to swing just inside of the 44. That is Skull Dozer.
Fox and Mad coming up against Shulk there at the back of that pack. Tenacious D puts the stop to Foxen. Foxen calls it. And Traverse City did steal a point there in that jam.
Score with 1:37 left to play is Traverse City 66, Lansing at 82. So Lansing was able to extend that lead just a little bit. But still, at under a minute and a half left in this first half, we'll have to see how this one plays out.
And when you see two really evenly matched teams like this, you know, the first half just seems to fly
That was
by.
I was going to say, I'm looking back, I'm like, a minute and a half, that's it?
I mean, when you have this much talent on the track, I mean, it is really a treat to watch. I hope everyone at home or watching this from the Mayfield bar is having a great time like we are here at the Lansing Center.
Traverse City's very own Siren Song takes a tumble right there, right at the pivot line. And Peregrine sidestepping their way through. Hearing the whistle, have to see what it is. It's, I believe, pack definition.
Peregrine getting called out on a something. Going to be power jam for Traverse City.
This is exactly what Traverse City needs right here going into the half. Toxic Cherries lead jammer.
Yep, that Siren Song. Traverse City bringing the pack to a near standstill here.
Siren Song comes in, tries to find a hole on the outside, able to take down blockers in their path. Believe I heard a whistle. Oh, it is going to be a
Yeah, I saw the way
jammer switch here. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought I saw the way Toxic Shock hit, and you know you've been watching Derby for too long. When you know it's a penalty, or you're sure it's a penalty, but you can't name the penalty.
Yeah.
But just the way Toxic Shock hit the ground. Anyway, Peregrine is released. Siren Song will serve the same amount of time as Peregrine. Peregrine has to get back in behind the Jackie Bauer.
Yar was there with the assist, trying to push through. The number 4 of Lansing swinging around on the inside. A little bit of a dance right there. Finally through on the initial pass. So we are going to go the full ride. Just 20 seconds left in this jam number 20.
Period clock is at 0. This will be the last jam of the half.
Still, both sides locked down at 0 points officially. I'm sure both have gone through and started adding points on there, but we're going to see what Toxic Terriers are able
And
to do.
1, 2, 3, 4 points going in the air for Siren Song. That's going to be the jam.
Score as it stands, Lansing A is at 82. Lansing A is at 85. Traverse City at 70.
15-point game, and we can't wait to see what happens in this second half.
All right, we're going to take a quick little break. Again, my name is Handle Barbarian, and to my right,
I am Lexi Pro.
we're going to take a few moments and enjoy our halftime stretch and get a sip of water, and we'll meet you back here soon. That was quick.
I know.
That was so quick.
I love watching Lansing have a good night, and they lost their last couple of home games.
Lansing's up by
And so we ended the last period on an official review. We're still waiting on word from the refs about that.
Traverse City did not retain that official review, but they get one back right at the end of the period, which is what they did.
Not a lot of clarity on that one, other than the official review was not maintained. Not that that really affects us going into this half. Again, to quick recap, the score is Lansing A at 85, Traverse City Toxic Cherries at 70.
And number 24, Jackie Bauer of Traverse City acting as pivot. Holding that line together. Sarah Sasson gets knocked out of bounds there on the outside.
We've got Educate in the back for the Toxic Cherries.
Sarah Sasson going to be lead jammer.
Educate able to find a way through. Toxic Shock was not able to get a shoulder on.
Toxic Shock trying to break up that line, and break it up she does. Sarah comes through, scores 4 and calls it.
Calling that one dead just as Educate comes into the back of the pack.
4 points still up for Lansing before that call.
89 to 70 over the Toxic Cherries.
Keep coming from
And a quick 40 seconds later, we are at getting ready for this next jam.
And a little switcheroo there with the pivot, and I wasn't really sure what Lansing was doing there, but we'll see.
Little pre-whistle movement in the pack.
Educate out there jamming for Traverse City. Barbie Flay, lead jammer for Lansing. Educate sneaking through on the, no wait, that is
Goodnight
Goodnight Doom. I think Goodnight Doom is my kryptonite this bout. I can't recognize her yet. Meanwhile, Barbie scores 4 and calls it. That's going to bring Lansing up to 93. Traverse City at 70. 23-point game with we are less than 2 minutes into this second period.
Goodness.
I know.
But you're not wrong. Every game, there's one skater. It doesn't matter how many times you look up them, you just
Yes.
never remember their name. And it's
I know.
every time. God.
The last bout I called, Lansing's B team was Roxy Heartbreaker, and I've watched her skate 1,000 times, and I
Just couldn't
still have to look her up. I'm like, sorry, Roxy.
It's not you. It's me.
Peregrine, I was corrected during the halftime. Peregrine having to recycle to the back of that pack, courtesy of Traverse City. Number 11, Siren Song, will be your lead jammer.
Peregrine comes in, makes contact with Bellatrix Lestrangle, comes back into the middle, but able to work their way
And
around.
we
A
have
little
a-
bit of a pileup there in turn 2.
And Yar looked like took a bit of a hard hit there. Yar is almost up, but
Just a little slow, gingerly removing themselves from the track.
4 points being picked up by Traverse City in that last jam.
and Yar, of course, instrumental in helping put all of this together. Mitten Kittens is always a team effort in all senses of the word. But I have a feeling it wouldn't have happened without Yar's supreme organizational and leadership skills. Longtime part of Lansing Roller Derby.
Some offense being played.
I can't begin to fathom how much intellectual property goes into organizing this type of event. Big hit right
Did
there.
you see that Lizzie Luscious big hit there on Fox and Mad?
Showing you why there's a C on her arm.
But look at that can of whoop ass, opening some whoop ass there on Edgy Kate.
Educate being brought way back there by the number 3
And
of
we've seen
Strega.
Strega, that's at least the 4th or 5th time I've watched Strega do that exact thing to Traverse City.
Ooh,
That was a
right into a locked door on that one. Educate having some difficulty.
Strega, meanwhile, trying to break up that wall of white there for Fox and Mad.
This has been a really rough jam stretch.
Oh, trying to snipe the shot right there, but Educate is able to put the speed down and gets out on turn 3. Lead jammer finally being called after a full minute of gameplay.
That's testament to the blocking skills both these teams have, and you see this a lot with the higher caliber teams. You see a lot of, they tend to be sometimes very low scoring bouts because the blockers are just that deadly. At least that's kind of what I've been noticing the last season or so.
Got an after jam penalty being called. It's going to be the number 27 of Evil Shred who's going to go to the penalty box. I believe that's an illegal procedure. Not sure if it was quite just a hit after the official fourth whistle or what was going on, but that one will result in Lansing being down by 1 as we get started here in the second. Oh, another jam right here.
And number 248, Goodnight Doom taking a big hit there to the outside of the track. Barbie Flay doing her level best to work her way through. Goodnight Doom is out. She will be lead jammer. Barbie Flay sneaking through on the inside.
Seeing some real speed being put down by Barbie Flay, but losing a little bit of traction through these turns. We've heard reports that the track is pretty slick, so it's interesting seeing somebody trying to put that much speed down.
It does look slick, Bars. I've skated on polished concrete before, and it can be pretty slick. I saw a couple of the blockers on the track too having a little bit of trouble with that earlier today.
I believe we've got Peregrine out there for the Lansing Roller Derby. Lansing A. We've got the number 11 of Siren Song for Traverse City Toxic Cherries. Penalty box is clear, 5-on-5 as we get started. 24 minutes left to play. Lansing at 93, Traverse City at 79.
And Siren Song will be your lead jammer.
Ooh, speaking of a little bit of looseness on the track, Siren Song losing traction there in turn 2.
Peregrine looking to get that star pass. Lansing, of course, looking to block that number 710 Java Junkie of Traverse City, going to force Peregrine all the way to the back of that pack. Meanwhile, Strega holding down that wall there for Lansing. Siren Song and Strega.
You called it before. Same
I
maneuver.
mean, Strega can be an absolutely deadly blocker when the mood strikes her, which is pretty much every game I've seen her play in.
I'm always in the mood. So, Siren Song calls that one with 4. Tight game right now, just 10 points separating these two teams. With Lansing at 93, Traverse City at 83, 23-10 left to play.
And if you're watching this at home thinking, God, I wish I could be there, well, doors open at 8:30 tomorrow morning. I believe admission for the day is only $10, but don't quote me on that. You can join us right here tomorrow at the Lansing Center. We will be here bright and early for a full day of Derby.
Lansing out there with Sarah Sassen, the number 29 in black, running around the outside. She picked up lead jammer. Edgy Kate, 1 to go, but it is, of course, Toxic Shock. Toxic Shock is able to take her down. We're going to get a track cut being called on the outside.
Power jam for Lansing.
Shulk standing, meaning less than 10 seconds left, but Shulk is finally back into the scrim. Meanwhile, Sarah Sassen does make their way through, picking up 4 points.
And this could be the jam that Lansing crosses over that century mark. Lansing now at 97.
Well within the realm of possibility. Already points on the board.
And that was 1, 2, 3, 4. And Lansing is officially over 100 points at 101. And Sarah Sassen calls it off.
Well, they called it off, and there is a jam.
And Edgy Kate standing up. 10 seconds or less to go.
Power start. It'll be a power start there for Fox and Mad of Lansing. Blockers were at a full complement, 4-on-4.
And number 710, Java Junkie of Traverse City, holding down that line there at the front of the pack.
Big pusher on the outside does open things up, but it's number 13 right on the outside. Lizzie Lush just trying to close it down. Nope, not going to happen. 12 makes their way through. They are lead jammer for Lansing. Edgy Kate wasting no time, but does get a bit of a hit there. Again.
Strega forcing Edgy Kate to the back of the pack.
Basically just start calling it. If we ever see a Toxic Cherry going down and we see a skater heading back, we know it's Strega. Fox and Mad is through on a scoring pass. 4 points on the board for Lansing. That will take him to 105 so far.
Lansing, Traverse City pivot headed to that penalty box.
Schulk probably needs to tighten it up just a little bit, getting some penalty issues at least twice already in the last 2 minutes.
Four more points going on the board there for Lansing.
Educate being pulled way back now, finally pushing through on the far side.
And Educate, star pass denied. Fox and Matt coming through one more time, calls it off. 4 more points going on the board for Lansing.
That was a 12-point jam for Lansing right there. That will take Lansing to 113 over Traverse City's 83.
Still very close game. That is, 30 points. Not much in roller derby. A couple of Traverse City just 1 or 2 power gems away from taking the lead.
Yeah, when this whistle blows, it looks like we're going to be right at about 19:40 left to play in the second half.
Amazon Avenger holding down that line, pushes Barbie Flay to the outside. Mind Killer, meanwhile, doing her best to keep Jackie Bauer back. Barbie Flay is your lead jammer.
Able to hold her back long enough to get the Lansing jammer out in front. Barbie Flay lead jammer, Jackie Bauer pushing hard. Not too far behind, only about 20, 30 feet separating the two. Big push on the inside. She's able to put the guns down.
Calls it off.
4. 4 points for Lansing on that one. Takes them to 117. 19 to play with over Traverse City's 83. And we've got a timeout being called
by Traverse City. I recognize their bench coach out there.
Yeah, that was a good actual time.
That timeout will be the first for Traverse City in the second half. Lansing, of course, picking one up already. So both are left with their official review and 2 timeouts left. We've got the clock stopped at 18:45. Score as it stands is still 117 to over 83. Hockey Cherries trailing behind Lansing A.
And we just want to give a quick mention to our charity for this tournament. It's a breast thing, cancer patient research, and also helping breast cancer patients with expenses not covered by insurance. October, of course, National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and they are accepting donations at itsabreastthing.org.
On the line in the back for Lansing, we've got number 4, Peregrine, against the 248 of Goodnight Doom. A lot of movement within the pack, moving forward and backwards. We're 2 to 4 pack advantage for Lansing, and Lansing is able to capitalize. Peregrine is your lead jammer.
You see the way Peregrine just kind of leapt through, like almost skipping on those skates on the inside.
We're going to see if they can do the same thing around the outside, then cutting back inside. Little bit of a spill there, and both jammers. The jammer goes down with a couple of blockers as well.
And Goodnight Doom takes advantage of the pileup to come out, will not be your lead jammer.
Like a scene from Days of Thunder, using the chaos to get a little bit of an advantage up front.
Peregrine calls it. 3 points on the board there for Lansing.
Lansing now at 120 over Traverse City 83. What once was a 10-point game has stretched out with 17:45 left to play
And now
in the second half.
37-point game here.
Yar at the helm for Lansing.
Joined by Gail Skaten and Toxic Shock. Sarah Sasson on the jam line for Lansing.
Traverse City jammer getting tumbled and tossed around. And that's number 11
And
of
Siren saw him called out on a penalty. I saw the way she was looking at the refs like, what'd I do? Still a power jam for Lansing. 4 points on the board there for Sarah Sasson.
no other penalty issues. It is a 4-on-4 pack as Sarah Sasson comes in.
Lansing lining up on the inside there.
Great defense. Does take all the power out of Sarah Sasson. Interesting. Oh, trying to do a hit right there, and Sarah Sasson will see who tried to hit me.
4 points for Sarah Sasson. Meanwhile, Siren's on fresh out of that penalty box. Hot on Sarah's tail there. Sarah coming around on the outside. Toxic Shock making a little room for her. 4 more points there for Lansing.
8 so far for Sarah Sasson. Still the initial. Oh, Toxic Shock just able to put just enough hit onto Siren Song. Will tip her to the inside, so she will have to come back around.
A nice hit also by the Mind Killer of Lansing. And Sarah Sasson picked up 2 more points in that jam. Traverse City held scoreless.
10-point jam for Lansing will take them to 130 over Traverse City's very own 83. Right at 16 minutes left to play. This, of course, is the end of jam number 11. Looking over the penalty box, we got 1 from Lansing. So a 4-3 pack advantage for Traverse City, and that's Edgy Kate back there on the line. Up against the
Barbie Flay, number 0 of Lansing.
Right there.
Can of Whoop-Ass, number 5, doing a nice job holding down that blocker line for Lansing. Number 44, Skulldozer, coming in to assist. Nice containment there. Barbie Flay coming up against Traverse City at the front of the pack. Barbie goes tumbling to the outside.
Tell you what, Lethal Liability has had it out for Barbie this entire jam. I saw them literally scare Barbie off of the track as it was both drawn back.
Wow, I missed that.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Again, trying to get it a little bit on the inside, and Lethal just not able to get a shoulder onto Barbie Flay. Educate out there, starting to apply the pressure. This, of course, their initial pass.
4 points for Barbie. That was her first scoring pass of the jam. Lansing keeping that pack moving fast. Educate trying to break through that wall at the front.
Got a little jammer on jammer right there as Educate mixing it up with Barbie Flay. Starting to see some longer points on this one right here. Both are on a scoring pass. Barbie Flay, of course, lead jammer, but Educate is able to steal 4 points from underneath.
Gale skating, breaking up that wall of white there. Jam's going to be called off. Looks like Barbie picked up 3 more points there for Lansing.
So 7-4 over Traverse City as Lansing is taking a 137 over Traverse City 87. Just about 14 minutes left to play in the second half. Definitely see Peregrine back there for Lansing.
Peregrine up on those toe stops, skating back behind the pack. This is number 248, Goodnight Doom. Coming through will be lead jammer.
Peregrine escorted to the outside there by Jackie Bauer. Jackie Bauer will pick up a penalty on that one. So both teams down 1 blocker as Peregrine is out on their initial pass. Meanwhile, Goodnight Doom has already picked up 4.
And neither jammer slowing down here.
Pack off to a good clip. I haven't seen this kind of speed in some time here in roller derby. Usually a lot slower, a lot more lateral gameplay, but here we are seeing some speed right there. Both jammers.
4 points for Peregrine.
Goodnight Doom being held back. They will call that one off.
Looks like Goodnight Doom stole 3 points there at the end of that jam. That's going to bring Traverse City up to 94, Lansing up to 141.
Make a wish. 1, 2, 3, 4 left on the clock.
47-point game here. Traverse City just 6 points below that century mark.
Full complement of skaters on the track. 5 on 5 as the penalty box is empty.
Both teams skating very clean here.
Now is when we fill the penalty box.
Probably because I just said something. Fox and Matt out there jamming for Lansing. Siren Song has to get him past number 44, Skilldozer. Siren Song is your lead jammer.
Fox and Matt is out there, but a quarter track lapse. Siren song comes in against Golddozer, trying to hit that one in.
Siren picks up one and calls it.
Nice move there. Traverse City having the lead jammer status and being just restricted down to one. Nice big push there by the Lansing jammer. Lansing A at 141, Traverse City at 95. 11:30 left to play.
And I want to remind everybody, coming up next, Maryland.
We've got number 0, Barbie Flay, on the jam line there for Lansing. And Lansing has called a team timeout. And those of you watching at home or from the comfort of Mayfield Bar, stick around right after this bout at 8 o'clock. We're going to see Team Maryland take on Team Wisconsin here on track 1. And meanwhile, action going on track 2 right now is Indiana versus Ohio. Those of you those of you who'll be joining us here tomorrow, first bout of the day tomorrow is, well, I'm not sure actually. I have to get back to you on that. Well, it's contingent on today's results, and I haven't seen all of today's results yet.
Exactly. No, there's entirely too much action to go on to get it all locked in. It's almost like the only way to do it here at Mitten Kittens would be to go and watch the second half of every game, because we've got them delayed by half of a setting.
Right, and of course, we're both announcing the whole tournament,
Yeah,
so
so
it's
it's
not
almost
really
impossible.
possible.
We're back in after that timeout. We've got
And Yar at the front of the pack there for Lansing. Looks like she is eyeing the Traverse City jammer hard.
That is Edgy Kate. Meanwhile, Barbie Flay is out, picking up lead jammer. Yard able to get just enough of a hit there on Edgy Kate. Will send her to the outside. Great maneuver there by the Traverse City blockers, holding Yar up front so Edgy Kate doesn't have to go way back.
That's the Amazon. That's team captain Amazon Avenger, number 42 of Traverse City.
Got a forearm call on Barbie Flay, and that one will result in a power jam for Traverse City. This is exactly what they need and when they need it.
Exactly, Bars. I was about to say that too. Gail Skate doing her best to keep slowing Edgy Kate down there. Edgy Kate coming around for 4 there for Traverse City.
Tell you what, the intensity of the blockers staring down Edgy Kate. Yar again just able to put enough of a shoulder in to just get Edgy Kate to the outside.
And you see Edgy Kate smiling there. It's like, yeah, I know, Yar, I know you got it. You got me.
Jammer on jammer action. And unfortunately, we are going to get a back block call on Barbie Flay.
Double power jam here for Traverse City.
Not to mention the time for her getting back and forth from the penalty box. But I tell you what, Yar right here doing a great job of a penalty kill.
And of course, Yar doing derby here in Lansing for over a decade now. A formidable blocker, member of Team Michigan.
That was insane to watch, because it does look like Edgy Kate was in front of Yar, but Yar was still controlling from the back. Kind of amazing to watch Yar play.
It really is.
Edgy Kate, just all of the energy sucked right out of him. Amazon Avenger up there trying to mix things up, but Pack is at a complete stop, and I believe that is it. 2 minutes of jam is going to go through. Both teams picking up 2 at the end.
It looks like Barbie Flay put 2 on the board there before going to the penalty box, and it looks like we've got an official timeout.
Yeah, Barbie Flay was released on that one, so the penalty box is at 0. Score as it stands, Lansing A 143, Traverse City 101, and the clock is held at 9:20 after the 15th jam before an official timeout.
That's right, Edgy Kate broke the century mark there on that last jam. Now we have 42-point game.
We're going to see Goodnight Doom returning for the Traverse City.
And that is Sarah Sasson for Lansing.
Full 5-on-5, and that's the way we, I like it.
Sarah Sasson, of course, former speed skater, 2022 rookie for Lansing, climbing the ranks steadily, now member of Lansing's A team, and as you have seen at home, a formidable jammer.
Very nice color stripe you have today.
They're very vertical.
Well, this is a great opportunity to talk about some of the great charity raffle donations. Miners Did Jewelry. They are one of our folks that have...
Also, Lansing fans will know just in a couple of months here coming up, we have the annual Black and Blue Scrimmage hosted by Lansing every year, Thanksgiving weekend, open to all skaters in Michigan and even outside of Michigan. We're going to have some great clinics going on. I hear Freight Train's going to be back running a clinic. We'll have the infamous co-ed Derby After Dark bout that weekend, and so skaters near and far, there's still time to register for this year's Black and Blue, hosted by Lansing Roller Derby, Thanksgiving weekend.
Also want to send out a quick thank you to one of our sponsors. They're actually the official sponsor for the MVP. The MVP will pick up a jar of jam from Coochie Family Market.
And our MVP of this bout will pick up either a brand new set of wheels from Roller Bones, or a nice new set of skate bearings from Bones. As any skater knows, those can really put a dent in your wallet. So I don't even know what a pack of bearings goes for these days. I know 10 years ago when I was still skating, it was over 30 bucks.
Oh, that's just where it started.
Yeah,
and
and
sky was the limit after that.
I know, and I paid over 70 bucks for a set of wheels more than once. I just try to remind myself, now Lexi, golf would cost even more. I know people who've spent $400 for a single driver.
Getting some clarity. Apparently the Lansing Shuffle. Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, that's the...
Oh, that's the official after party.
That is where we're going to be hoisting our glasses tonight after the final whistle is blown at the Lansing Shuffle. Hope to see some of you watching at home. Hope you come out and join us at tonight's after party. Love to see you. And we'd love it even more if you can join us here tomorrow here at the Lansing Center. Watch some Derby live. And we have just heard from the officials. Number 0, Barbie Flay of Lansing, has been ejected for an egregious back block during that last jam. And of course, Barbie Flay has already served her penalty. Normally when a skater is expelled, one of her teammates will serve the rest of her time. Barbie Flay must remove those skates and return to the locker room for the duration of this bout.
I've been informed that I'm incorrect and I should be shamed, and it's a real problem that I'm like, I'm just kidding. No. Lansing Shuffle. Lansing Shuffle is something else. It used to be a Shuffle club. It was the best. It's been gone forever.
And the official timeout is still going on. They must have some other business to discuss than the expulsion.
Why we were corrected? I would have wandered that way for mine.
Where's Lansing Shuffle?
That would have happened to me. Cold, hungry.
I believe the referees are still discussing things with the Lansing team.
They're probably just talking about their favorite drinks at the Lansing Shuffle. Well, I like their Bahama Mama. Well, no, their Moscow Mule's not to be believed.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you want. Are you looking for a little spicy? You're looking a little sweet. That's the way to go.
Sweet and spicy. Just like roller derby.
I feel like we need to put those together. We can have ourselves a Bahama Mule.
You know, I don't know if that would really work, you know, like the tropical with the ginger beer.
It's definitely one of those based on a dare beverages.
I drank my share of those in college. Oh, big hit there on Goodnight Doom there in the middle of the pack. Sarah Sasson coming up against Traverse City's Benefield and Amazon Avenger. Benefield's forcing Sarah to the back of that pack. Beneful? I think it's Beneful.
Again, no lead jammer picked up, but it's going to be Goodnight Doom out the far side for Lansing.
Sarah Sasson, half a track behind there. Lansing walling up at the front of that pack.
Oh, trying to call that one while buried in a pack.
Forcing a call off there from Doom.
So a scoreless jam on that one. Traverse City at 101, Lansing at 143. 8:30 left to play in the second half.
And Traverse City picked up 2 points in that jam.
All right, so 40 points separating these two teams. 103 underneath 143 for Lansing.
You know, I know that the Traverse City jam ref, she can't hear us because we're on the stream, but I swear she was looking right at us when she held up those fingers.
No.
Oh, little spin move there by Siren Song at the inside, but this could be Fox and Mad, number 12. She will be your lead jammer.
Siren Song kick to the inside, then finds a loop on the outside, able to put down some real quick speed. I thought for sure there was going to be some activity. Oh, open up on the inside, and Siren Song is able to spin around, but gets reabsorbed in a wall of black. So we'll have to see how she's able to make her way through.
That's 4 points for Fox and Mad. Oh, nice hit there from Yar. Siren Song spinning to the inside. Yar and Gale skating up there on Siren. Siren meanwhile coming around for 4 points.
Siren Song able to get past because the pack was just too stretched out. No bridging was made. So they have to let her go. Meanwhile, Fox and Mad zipping back and forth, trying to find their way through. Wow, I thought for sure Siren Song was going to go with that entire length on one skate.
That hit from Mind Killer didn't force her out of bounds right away, but kind of the momentum, she was off balance, carried her out a little bit.
Yep.
Okay, nice hit there from Gale skating. And Fox and Mad's going to call it. 3 more points going on the board there for Lansing.
Just 7 minutes left in there.
And 3 for Traverse City. Traverse City now over to Century Mark at 107 points. Lansing at 150.
Just about 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to play.
40-point game. Lansing having kept a comfortable lead since, I think, the 4th jam or so.
That's correct.
Strega holding down that line there for Lansing. We've got Peregrine back on the jam line. Edgy Kate, number 100, jamming for Traverse City.
Educate locked up right there in the back. Meanwhile, up in front, Peregrine trying to find their way through, not seeing as much explosive speed out the far side. I don't know if that has more to do with exhaustion at this point in the game or just the team getting better and better at locking them up. Out of play is called. They have to let her go. So Peregrine is out, picking up lead jammer. Educate finally finds a bit of an opening, but I think that was due to the fact that the pack is just completely blown apart.
Peregrine goes tumbling. Traverse City blocker goes tumbling. Peregrine calls it.
I saw a lot less pack definition in that last jam.
Well, you know, we've had, and it looks like Lansing is calling an official review. Well, both teams have been keeping this pack moving fast, and we're coming to the end of the bout. It's, you know, and for many of these skaters, this is not their first bout of the day.
No.
No.
So Lansing A is at 150, Traverse City at 110. The time is frozen at 5 minutes and 27 seconds left to play in the second half. I'm sorry, are we seeing advertisements already for September 6th through the 8th, 2024 for Skate Wars back here in Lansing as well? Team Michigan Roller Derby will return to the Lansing Center on September of 2024, bringing teams from across the world, borderless, provinces, territories, states, all of them right here. Skate Wars. hosted by Team Michigan and Lansing Roller Derby. You can find out more at theskatewars.com.
That's right. That is the weekend after Labor Day weekend in 2024.
It's actually already in my calendar.
It's going to be in my calendar after today, for sure. Because I don't know what's going to be, I don't know exactly what's going to be going on during Skate Wars, but I know I will be here.
Regardless.
God willing and the creek don't rise.
They are the unsung heroes of this game.
We should be singing a lot more about our heroes. That's what I think.
You know, the referees have their arms folded behind their back, and it made me think that they were getting ready to do the can-can, because nope, the trick to the eye. They're not, they're not huddled.
I don't know if you've gone over to where our pavilion is with some things that are wares and stuff such for sale. There is a really cool thing called the Unique Metalworks, and they've got different words, phrases, and boards. I would definitely go over and check them out. It's something very unique, and ironically, they're called Unique Metalworks. So definitely go check them out. They're another one of our great folks that we have here in the building with us. They'll be here all weekend.
I feel like doing the tape work. I've never done it myself. I'm not one of those unsung heroes. People sing about me all the time. But I feel like if you're doing that track work, your mind just like laser focuses on your little spots. And you're just like, I see it, I see it, I see it, I see it, I see it. You don't see anything else for the whole day. Like, bless you.
And this official review is still going on. Let's look at some of the bouts to watch tomorrow. Let's see, we've got at 2:40 tomorrow afternoon on track 1, we're going to see the Michigan B team versus the winner of Wisconsin versus Maryland, which of course is coming up on this track at, well, it's going to be a little after 8 o'clock because it's almost 8 right now.
There we go.
All right, they are going to lose their official review.
So Lansing is looking to overturn a call about misconduct about skater.
So we're back. Number 22 Yard doing her best to put the stop on Traverse City there at the front of the pack.
This is a power jam opportunity as they've got Goodnight Doom out there getting spun. I'm sorry, that was Jackie Bauer wearing the star getting spun around.
Jackie Bauer will be your lead jammer. Skulldozer doing her best to break up that wall of white there.
Out juked to the outside by Jackie Bauer, but you've got
Toxic Shock and Yar at the front of the pack doing some nice containment there on Jackie.
That's kind of amazing. You look up and you think you've got it all set, and you're like, oh no.
4 points on the board there for Jackie Bauer. Peregrine out of that penalty box.
Penalty box is back and empty.
Peregrine sneaking around on the outside on that initial pass. Toxic Shock and Yar putting the shoulders into Jackie Bauer. Jackie calls it. Jack picked up 3 more points in that jam for Traverse City.
That takes Traverse City to 117 over Lansing's 150. And once the whistle blows, it'll be just under 4 minutes left to play in this second half.
That's right, 33 points with 4 minutes to go. Not insurmountable, but with the momentum we've had, we need some.
Yar picking up the pivot, not leaving the track, staying out there.
Goodnight Doom wearing the star there for Traverse City. Sarah Sasson back out there for Lansing. Sarah Sasson is going to be lead jammer. And Straga and Yar doing their thing, forcing Goodnight Doom to the back of that pack. And it's at moments like this I wish Woofta hadn't taken away the lap point. Sarah Sassen about to get it. The imaginary lap point now.
Yeah.
4 points for Sarah Sassen.
Good night, Doom on the initial pass. Sarah Sassen coming up, slowing the pace down a little bit. Sarah Sassen is through on the inside. Meanwhile, Goodnight Doom was shoveled to the outside by none other than Strava.
Straga.
Straga.
Long time Derby veteran. Mind killer has to let her go. 4 points on the board there for Goodnight Doom. Sarah Sassen, did you see that at home? Little spin move, skating backwards for a second. 4 points more on the board for Lansing.
That's 12 so far for Lansing. Traverse City held down to just 4. 2 minutes and 38 seconds left to play on the clock.
And just Goodnight Doom. That's one of the times you wish there was instant replay at home. Goodnight Doom almost around Toxic Shock's hips and then lost balance, wobbled and fell there. 4 points for Sarah Sassen. Strega again forcing Goodnight Doom to the back. That pack. Strega's just standing there like, you gotta get past me, girl.
Toxic Shock to the penalty box. This is a big loss for Lansing right now. We've got Goodnight Doom coming through, picking up another 4. So a 16-8 jam so far for Lansing.
All right, and 2 more points there for Lansing. And Traverse City calling a team timeout.
That was one of the more aggressive timeouts I've ever seen called.
Yeah.
Bench coach running to the center and calling it off. Timeout. Okay, trying to keep as much time on the clock because it is just 1:48 left to play with Lansing at 168, Traverse City at 125. Jam number 20 just ending.
Those of you watching at home, make sure you stick around right after this bout ends. We're going to have Team Maryland versus Team Wisconsin.
So Traverse City still with 1 timeout and 1 official review. Lansing held to just 1 timeout. 1:48 left to play once we get back and underway here.
And I can see Team Maryland on the sidelines from here. Team Maryland, of course, red, yellow, and black uniforms represent the Maryland flag.
Very striking uniform.
Very striking flag. It's one of the more unique state flags, I think.
Yeah. You know it when you see it. Mm-hmm. You're not like, is that Texas or Ohio?
And we've got Siren Song, number 11, back on the jam line. She will be or lead jammer. Fox and Mad, number 12, skipping around on the side for Lansing. Oh, and Fox and Mad called out on a forearm power jam for Traverse City.
Siren Song lead jammer, 125 to 168. Siren Song.
Go ahead.
Siren Song shoveled into the inside there by the number 44. That is Skull Dozer. Oh,
Toxic Shock chasing. Siren Song has to let her go. 4 points on the board for Traverse City.
Penalty box is empty as Fox and Matt is coming back around, but still just another 10, 20 feet before they make contact. They do so, but it's Shulk is the first point of contact.
Taking a cue from the bench, Siren Song calls it. And we have 35 seconds left to go on the clock. And Traverse City's called another timeout.
Smart move right there. That will lock the clock at 32. Traverse City at 132. Lansing at 168.
Time for 1, maybe 2 more jams, but probably just 1 in this bout.
At this point, you're better off holding your jam time, letting that control, running that for 2 minutes. But if Lansing gets out there and locks this one up and gets lead jam, it could be anybody's game because they could call it right away, and there's no opportunity for Traverse City to call that one dead.
Right.
Yeah, no more timeouts left except for an official review, which is a strategy that could be used.
That's right. See a lot. Teams will use their official review as just another timeout.
Well, the bench is clean. We've got 5-on-5, but we've got a 2:30 to be played.
Holding your hand up. Nope, don't start yet. Less than 5 seconds to go. Full complement on the track.
And we have Peregrine, number 4, back on the jam line for Lansing.
Gets just ever so slightly taken to the outside. Meanwhile, up in front, Jackie Bauer.
Taking a hit to the outside from Yar. Mind killer, giving chase, has to let her go. Jackie Bauer, lead jammer.
All right, period clock is down to 2-1-0. We are on jam time, and that one is called dead. The attempt was made. An official review is trying to be called, but the clock was at 0, best I saw.
Looks like 4. Jackie Bauer picked up 4 points in that jam, and Traverse City has called their official review here at bout's end.
Score as it stands. Scoreboard saying the unofficial score is 136 for Traverse City, Lansing A at 168. Period clock is down to 0. We'll have to see how this one works out.
Let's see how this, what the outcome of this official review is before we can tell you the final score. We want to say thank you to everyone watching this bout at home, all 39 of you watching from the comfort of the bar, comfort of your own home.
Oh, we picked up 2. Interesting.
All right.
Don't believe we're going to pick up any extra gameplay on this one. I think this was a mad dash at trying to get one more jam in there.
I always like that. It's like the thing that you can't do without. We pretty much can't do this without.
Official review still in progress. We want to say thank you so much to all of our refs and NSOs working hard all tournament long, making sure points are tallied, scoreboard is working, and penalties are being kept track of. Thank you so much. Thanks to our track repair crew down there taping down the track in time for the next game.
Official review will be lost. We'll have to see what the official call was on that one. Okay. All right, so the official review technically was a official review of the official time left on the clock. Unfortunately, the time had expired completely, so they will lose their official review, and I believe the score will stand as it is.
I see the score capers doing a little extra tabulate figure in there.
Come up to the trackside and offer your support to these 2 wonderful teams who have skated for you.
That is it. The swirly whirly whistle, we'll call it.
Fun. 136 Traverse City, 168 Lansing. Great game here by both teams.
Give them a big round of applause and a woo-hoo.
Lansing going out for a few victory hugs there on the track. Want to say thank you so much to everyone watching at home. Hope you're sticking around for the Maryland versus Wisconsin game coming right up, and hope you're tuning in tomorrow. Once again, I am Lexi Pro.
I am Handle Barbarian.
And we are out.